Hello everyone. In this video, we will talk about user management inside Documaker Studio. As we know, Documaker Studio is a multi-user environment where you can create user as per your requirement. So let's see like how these users are created and managed inside Documaker Studio. Okay. So this is one more thing like you need to take a note of it. So when you log in for the first time or when you install Documaker Studio in your machine, based on your system ID, your user ID will be created for yourself by default. Okay, so when you click on Documaker to open it, with that ID it will be logged in. But with that ID, it will not be that ID will not be having complete access. So you will not be seeing this user icon in your toolbar. Okay, so to enable that user icon for your ID or any other access that you need for your ID, you can use the stock corp super user ID. Okay, which is the password and username are same, so you can use that and you can log in. And now you can see that user icon will be there for DocuCorp ID because you logged as a super user. So where you can open that, click on that user icon and then go to your ID, and you can configure such a way that you can have complete access, full access. So as part of this, or as part of training or as part of your development activities, I recommend you can do all access for your ID as per the DocuCorp user has. Okay, so because it makes sense, like you will be having like what are the other, or what are the maximum access that you have. And it would be it's not in something like, it's not in a stage environment, it's not in a production environment, it is in your development environment. So I recommend to have complete access as a developer if you have. Okay, so that would be better for your development activities, right? So let's see like how these users are created or how it is managed inside Documaker Studio. So once you click on that icon, you will see this window like this, where you can add user, or delete an user, or you can clone an user. So let's see everything in practical. Okay, so once your configuration is done, okay, once your configuration for your user is done, when you click OK and you are coming out of this window. Okay, so you want to log in because now you are using DocuCorp ID, right? DocuCorp ID, for using that ID only you are making these changes. And to go back to your ID that you have, you can just click on log on as different user. A small user and password window will open where you can give your user ID and password, and then you can log in. Okay, so let's see this in practical. Okay, let me open Documaker Studio here. Okay, all right. So this ID, you can see my system ID is been logged in PG. Okay, so you are not seeing any user options here. Okay, in the toolbar, so it will be coming here when I enable it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the super user, and we go here file, and you see that at the end there will be a small arrow. Just click over on it, and or you can click on it. You can see this option log on as different user. Okay, so I'm going to use this Docker card super user ID card. Okay, and okay, so now if you see, I logged in as like DocuCorp, and you can see this user has been enabled because this DocuCorp has complete access, full access. So I'll go here, configure user, and here you can see like you can add. So my ID will be coming under P2E because it's starting with PG. Okay, P. So I'll go and configure. So I'm going to give all possible options. Okay, system administrator. I will give. I can click on apply all, so that it will be applied to both of them. Like you can use user administrator, and there are few options like change password. These are like it's up to you, like if you want to. But when it's not something related to security, I mean access standpoint, but these are like some additional options that you can. So when you click on this one, whenever you log in, it will ask for you to change the password. Okay, so I better not pick you for at this point. So settings unable to edit, so I'm going to give full access for this edit system and INI local settings. okay, and then library, I'll give library as an administrator. So when I click on this, all of them like are, it's by default it is enabled, okay. Or if you want to anything specific, you can uncheck it and you can check that one. Let's talk about resources. It has already having full access, so that is fine. So if you want to make something else, like if you want to give no access for a particular one, you can go that. Or if I want to change something like this, okay, view only access, and I want to make these things happen to everything, I can click on apply all, okay. So everything will be changed to view only access, okay. So I'm going to change it to full access and give apply all, okay. So this everything is done. So now rights I'm going to give apply all, okay, for everything, and then project also I'm going to give everything. So all possible options I have selected it for this particular user, okay. I'm going to click on OK. And by default, like the user will be logged in, right, and it will not ask any password. And Documaker creates some random password there, so it will not be asking till now. So you can change that password. We don't know what password Documaker said, so it's better we can change it. Or even if you're not changing, so it's not a problem, because it will not ask for your password when you log in with your ID, okay. So that's one thing. But for now I changed the password, okay. So let me, so now I am in this user, so my changes are done, okay. Now I am a super user as well, because I have given all possible option. So I log on as different user. So I'm going to, well, there are two way of going back to our ID. One will be like giving this ID here itself, okay, or you can just click on cancel. So by default it will go back to your current user, like the default one. So that's another way of doing it, okay. So now I'm logged in as PG, okay. Now you can see this user has been enabled for me, okay. So now I'm having complete access as DocuCorp, okay. Right, so that to make you understand, like if I go to settings menu, let's talk about this ini files, okay. The INA configurations. So let's take few example here. So now I can see I can able to edit anything inside Documaker INI configurations, right? So earlier, like with this ID, we are not able to edit something. So I think we saw in the last video we were able to we are changing something in this print, right? Yeah, print print options, okay. So we were changing this print type and all, right, in the last video. So where we were using a DocuCorp ID, but here now I can make changes here, okay, with this ID itself. So that's what we are talking about, and that's how we enabled it, okay. So coming back to the user menu, user options. So with this ID now I have icon. Now this ID is considered to be an admin ID, okay. So I want to create a new user. Let's say like there is a new joinee came in the team, okay. So I'm going to create a new user. Let's say like I'm going to give something like Apple, okay. Apple is a new user, new member joined the team. I'm going to change the password. Let it be like that password. Everything is fine. So or I'll, it's taking something random value I believe, but let's not worry about it for now, okay. So I'm going to configure it, and I'm not giving complete access, but I'm giving only few access. Let's say like settings, I don't want anything like library. Maybe you can delete a library entries, or you can perform promotions, okay. Or you can check out library, create collab revisions. Only few of them I'm just giving for now, okay. Just an example here, okay. And let it be full access, that's not a problem, okay. So this guy does not have admin rights, that is one thing, okay. So now, all right, okay. So now let's use this ID, okay, just for an instant, for example, okay. Now I want to log on with that ID, okay. All right, this apple is done. I'm going to log on as different user. So this invalid. So it's not allowing some random password. Okay, so I just want to try that out, that's all. But what we can do, go to user again. Since we are creating the password, so I'm going to change the password by ourselves, just giving the same password as username. Okay, so I'm going to change it. I'm going to log in as different user. Okay, so things are done. So now I logged in with Apple ID. Okay, so now you can't see the user menu because this user does not have complete access. Okay, so let's go back to our ID itself. Cancel. Now go to user. So let's say like one more user joined in or one more member joined in. Okay, so or I will go one by one. So we add the user, okay, and then we added this apple. Now we talked about deleting it. Okay, I'm not going to delete this one. Maybe I delete something else. Let's say I don't want this new user one, so I'm going to delete it. Okay, so that's how we will delete. And then there is one more icon, security wizard. So whatever you see here, right, in this configuration menu, same you can see with this ID. Just click on it, it will open system or the security wizard window. Okay, so the same way you can do it here as well. So it's a different icon there as well. Okay, so and there is another option like cloning user. Okay, so let's say like there is one more user joined in, one more member has joined the team, so you want to create a user same like apple. Okay, so what I will do, I will going to create a new user, and then I'm going to change this name as orange, maybe whatever purpose. Okay, and I want this orange user should have same access as apple. Okay, so I what I'll do, I'll clone the user rights, okay, from apple. Okay, so let's see what happens with this orange user. So you see the libraries, whatever we selected in apple, everything is configured here as well. So you got the point, right? So that's how you can clone an user, and it's easier of doing it. Okay, so uh, when we did for the PG, okay, we did manually, right? So what you can do to give complete access, you can just go here and you can select the ID. Okay, since I logged in as the same ID, so but when you log in for the first time, or you'll be this ID. But if you want to enable the user icon, you'll be using this ID, right? So using that ID, you go there and you can, with that ID, you can select this ID and you can clone from this Docucarp ID. So to avoid those other settings, so same level of access what Docucarp has, you can give it to PG, okay, or the ID that you have, okay. So that's what I'm trying to say here. So let's say like over the time period, this Apple guy become experienced, and we are going to give him complete access as PG, okay. So I can just go here and I want this Apple should have full access. So I'm just going to clone it. I'm going to change. I'm going to give the clone securities from access from this PG. Okay, clone. All right. So now if I click on configure, so this guy has complete access now. Okay. So with this Apple ID, you can do whatever you want to. Okay. Everything is enabled for him. But wherein orange will remain same, will be remain as the junior developer in the team. Okay, so that's how it is. So that's all the various options. So whatever you see here, adding user, deleting user, security wizard, or cloning an user, same you can see here as well. And a few options you can directly go here and do it. Okay, so let's see this one more last one. So for orange, I'm going to configure this thing. Okay, user change password on next login. Okay, click on OK, right? So now we have we have enabled every time when orange logged in, you need to change the password. Okay, such a way that. So I don't know the right current password, so we'll change that as well. Orange. Okay. So let's log on as different user. Orange. See, I logged in, but it is still asking to change the password. Okay, so I'm going to change it to new password. Okay, the password has been changed. Now I logged in as orange. Now I'm going back, log on as different user, will click on cancel. So I am coming back to my original ID. Now I'm going back to orange user. I'm using the updated password. I logged in, okay. But it has to ask for new password, but it's not asking. Let's see what happens again. Orange. Maybe I think when we logged out, we totally close it and we'll come back. It may ask us to change the password. Okay, let's see. So I logged in as my default ID, log on as different user, orange. It's not asking to change the password, but I think that option is only enabling whenever they're first logging in. But okay, I think that is not a big options at this point. Okay, you got. I hope you got all the options that is available under user icon. Okay, so configures user. Okay, it is not enabled basically. Okay, log on as different user. Do orange. It's asking for password. Okay. I just been logged in. Log on as different user. Cancel. Go to PG. So coming back to orange. It is after changing for the first time. It is not asking again and again. Okay. I don't know. Like it's there could be some glitch in the studio itself. Okay, but that's not much important right now. Okay. Um, So that's all the options that you can see in your Documaker Studio user icon. Okay, and these categories, like it is categorized from A to E. All the users that are A to E will be put in here. Okay, so it will be easy for you to. So if you want to talk something about Apple user, you can just go here and search here. If you want to talk something about other user that starts with K or L, okay, you can go here. And if you want to start something with that start with Q, you can go here. So things will be sorted out easily. Okay, so that's why this categorization happens here. Okay, all right. So that's all about user icon. So let's see the summary here. So we talked about enabling user menu, how to enable user menu using Docucar ID, and then you can configure your default ID to have that icon enabled for you. And then adding new user, we talked about how to create new user and deleting a user and cloning user settings. Okay, and we talked about like what are the options that is there in the security wizard. Okay, so all right, so these in this video. Let's see in the next video. Until then, goodbye. Yeah, thank you. Bye.